notorious killers in prison in Canada are living in facilities where children are being raised by their mothers who are also in prison for sometimes very violent crimes. If this doesn't piss you off, I don't know what will. Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. I hope you're having a great day, and I hope this report doesn't ruin it for you. But it kind of did for me, or at least a little bit. Of course, I've been around the criminal justice system for several decades, and nothing really surprises me, and I was aware of this program. It's been around since 2001. It started under the Correctional government. Essentially, if you're a female prisoner and you're in jail doing 2 years plus a day, then you get to have your children with you if you're a mother in certain circumstances. Before we get too deep into that, let's go to question period. This happened yesterday, and there was a very interesting exchange that got me thinking about this.
8-year-old Tori Stafford was brutally and viciously murdered by Terry Lynn McClintock and her boyfriend in a sexually motivated killing. Currently, McClintock lives in a townhouse-style jail in Ontario in medium security. That jail also houses a mother-child program. When I visited there, I was appalled to see that there were children in that jail at that security level in the townhouse-style complex. How could this Liberal government allow child killers in the same jail as children?
Mr. Speaker, the safety of children who participate in this long-standing mother-child program is obviously a top priority for the Correctional Service. There are rigorous eligibility criteria in place to participate in this program. It includes child welfare screening completed by Provincial Family Services, as well as ensuring that people residing in the mother-child living unit have not been convicted of any offense against a child.
You know, just listening to some of these Liberals lie in Parliament just boils my blood sometimes, because as we'll find out, this Dominic LeBlanc, he is lying through his teeth. Either that, or he doesn't know his job and he doesn't know what's going on. But before I get too worked up, let's get back to this report, and we'll talk about that later.
Mr. Speaker, these living units are townhouses literally right next to each other. And if they're going to screen people, why aren't they screening the sex offender killer that lives next door? Mr. Speaker, this is the time to show courage and not cowardice, and this minister is doing the complete opposite. This comes back to Bill C-83 that allowed people like McClintock, Bernardo, and Rafferty to serve their sentences in the least restrictive measure. Victims are owed an apology. Is this minister going to reverse these failed policies?
MP Frank Caputo here was not the only one who took a shot at Dominic LeBlanc. And before we get back to Dominic LeBlanc, let's take a listen to what the other MPs had to say, because Dominic LeBlanc just kind of repeats himself. And as we'll see later, he is either completely unaware or he's lying.
Tori Stafford was 8 years old when she was lured from school by a monster. Tori never made it home. She was beaten, tortured, sexually assaulted, and murdered by Terry Lynn McClintock and Michael Rafferty. Today, Terry Lynn McClintock lives in a cozy townhouse with free access to the mother-child program. Yes, you heard that correctly. A child killer has free access to children in prison. In what universe is this okay?
The Honourable Member for Bellechasse-les-Étrements-Lévis. Mr. Speaker, the Liberal government is rewarding criminals and turning its back on victims. Bail and house arrest for dangerous criminals is beyond comprehension. The latest discouraging indication of a broken system, the case of a woman who sexually abused and killed an 8-year-old girl who can now have access to children in prison, courtesy of this government, which has passed laws that make life easy for dangerous people. Why does the Liberal government let child killers have contact with kids in prison, Mr. Speaker? The Honourable Minister of Public Safety. Mr. Speaker, at no time will the government allow that type of scenario to occur. My colleague knows full well that the program she referred to has been around since 2001.
At no time will this scenario ever occur. Well, that, Mr. LeBlanc, is just plain BS, and I believe you know it. I think you're lying. But maybe you're not. Maybe you're just incompetent. I wouldn't put that past you either. Terry Lynn McClintock is in a facility in Ontario that has the mother-child program. Let's take a look at some news reports that confirm this.
Our film crew has been granted unprecedented access over the past few months to the Grand Valley Institution for Women, one of only 5 prisons for women in Canada and home to some of Canada's most notorious killers, including Terry Lynn McClintock, who's serving a life sentence for murdering 8-year-old Victoria Stafford in 2009, and Jennifer Pan, convicted of a kill-for-hire attack on her parents. But if you were expecting hard time and rough conditions for killers, think again. The women are usually running around here, sitting at picnic tables like this and hanging out on the benches. It really doesn't feel like a prison in many respects. I mean, yes, there are security features and barbed wires and you have to go through screening to get in, but I didn't expect the inmates to have this level of freedom, even in the medium security area, where you see them, wearing the clothes that they choose, walking around, they're making whatever meals they choose because they're in charge of their groceries and what they're about to eat. I thought there'd be a lot more barbed wire and a lot less white picket fences and picnic tables and flowers and gardens. I really didn't expect to see Muskoka chairs here. I expected to see bars on the windows, making sure that these women stayed in their homes when they were supposed to be. And instead, it's just a lot of freedom.
That reporter sure seemed giddy over the fact that this was such a nice place to live. It had all of these townhouses, these flowers, these gardens, these picnic tables and Gucci chairs. And yet all the women there are doing 2 years plus a day. Well, you don't get 2 years plus a day in Canada unless you're a hardened criminal, a habitual offender, or you've done something really horrendous. Like, I don't know, you've murdered a child in a sexually motivated crime. Dominic LeBlanc is either lying or he's incompetent and doesn't know what's going on in this facility, because this facility does house the mother-child program. And it shouldn't exist. None of these facilities should exist. These women, many of whom should be on death row because they have committed first-degree murder, shouldn't be there. And most of the children are quite frankly better off not being associated to these hardened criminals, to these women who have wasted their lives and will be nothing but a bad influence and a bad role model for their children. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for that, but that's just the way it is. Love for you to put your comments down below. And while you're at it, please like this video, share with your friends and on social media. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and hit that bell notification so you never miss another video. Also, I do have a live stream on Thursday evenings at 6 p.m. Pacific time. I'd love for you to join in on that conversation. Finally, I do have a website, links to which are in the description of this video, where you can sign up for the Canadian Firearm Safety Course. And the Canadian Firearm Safety Course is the prerequisite for getting your Canadian firearms license, also known as a PAL. So if you'd like your PAL, please visit my website and sign up for one of those courses. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.